Renowned medium Janet Nohavec once said, "Live your life to the fullest. It is a wonderful journey. In the school of life, you may look at its challenges squarely in the face. God is never far away. You also have a host of helpers, angels, guides, and your departed loved ones who walk with you every day. Do not miss out on their help and guidance." One of the most grounding things for me is to connect with nature and to step away from the hustle and bustle of everyday life and get out. And I'm blessed to live in an area of Rockaway Township where nature is all around us. So when I get done with investigations, with spirit art sessions, I like to just get out, even if it's just a half hour. And it's such a grounding experience, almost a way, a cleansing, and just getting in touch with the natural world and quieting the mind and just, they call this intuitive walking. And with intuitive walking, you concentrate on your breath. You kind of shut out the outside world and you just let whatever inspiration is coming to you flow. So that's always important. You just can't go from one location to the next location and immerse yourself in afterlife research and reading. You need time to reset yourself. And that's why I always say to anybody who's in the field, you need to ground. You need to do something that kind of resets your clock. And this to me is very resetting. Just to be in nature, the birds, the water, the breeze. This is beautiful. And it's very important. This is that self-care that everybody needs. Everything in life is in the process of constant movement and change. It's how the universe works. Intuition naturally flows and moves, but at times we unconsciously hinder the flow and get stuck in our rational minds. Let's get the intuitive flow going again by simply going for a walk. Intuitive walking keeps you in the powerful present moment. By practicing intuitive walking, you'll start to sense a feeling of lightness, calmness, and a freedom as you learn to follow your intuition and see where it guides you. Everything in this world is an exchange of energy. Everything is vibrating, and in this energy, this God force energy that we live in, everything is an exchange, positives, negatives. So be open to communicate with spirit. Be open for this divine communication between you and the spirit realm. And you'd be surprised. The synchronicities, asking for signs, that's so important. When a loved one passes, establish a sign. Say, I expect to see a cardinal, or I expect to see a penguin. And you can make this as crazy as you want, but you'll be surprised when confirmation comes through. And that symbol, maybe not physically, maybe it'll be words on a truck that cuts you off that says penguin trucking, or cardinal trucking. But throw out those signs, you'd be surprised at how the universe, how synchronicity happens and signs are presented to you. When communicating with the other side, it's important to start by clearing your thoughts, which is a form of stilling your mind. Meditation
helps to construct a bridge between the two realms by raising your consciousness. By meditating, you're making room for departed loved ones to imprint their thoughts on your mind. When developing your spiritual abilities, meditation is an essential part of your training and development. Meditation is a state of being in which your active mind slows down. It's a time of quiet reflection to achieve clarity.
During a spirit art session, one thing I always say to the client, the sitter, I say, I do not want to know anything going into this. 99% of the time, I do it before I even talk to the sitter or the client. The picture is drawn, the sketch is sketched, and I send that over through an email with all that evidential information that goes around. I then say, if this clicks with you, let's have a Zoom, let's meet in person, and we will go over all this information. If it does not make any sense, if the picture is off and it makes total no sense to you, we don't even need to talk about this. I'm sorry. And thank Spirit and the connection that we have, I never had that happen, and it's important. And it's also the validation from Spirit that they want to work with me and they want to use me as that conduit to convey their message to the sitter and use my ability to sketch them and bring that message of love, that message of the continuity of life across that veil. So when I sit down for the session, a lot of people ask, well, are you sitting with the person? Are you asking questions? No. This is all done remotely, and this is done before the session even begins. Okay? I get that image or images. I get that information. That's then sent to the sitter, and then we connect. And if it doesn't make sense, I don't want a dime. I don't want anything. I just, I'm sorry, it didn't work. But, thank God, thank Spirit, and the sessions have been wonderful. And it's been great to connect messages to our sitters, whether it's something they've been thinking. I've talked about a story with the dishes. A woman that I work with was thinking about who she should gift her dishes to from her mother the night before our session. And the session happens. Her mom comes through, and the first thing I wrote down was the dishes. Tell her to use the dishes. That was awesome. I mean, that was just an anchor in the reading. Another reading was for a young woman, and her grandfather came through. When he came through with the name Michael. Well, Michael is a man she started dating. So she says, is this, you think, a way of my grandfather acknowledging Michael, this Michael that's in her life? And I said, yes. He must approve of this Michael because he came through, and that was one of the first things that was written down on that piece of paper was the name Michael. So these synchronicities, these things that happen, that really anchor that reading to that sitter is just amazing. And that's the validation that I hope I could bring to every reading with my sitters, is points in their life or things that they asked that Spirit's coming through and conveying across the veil.